The highly anticipated rematch between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk has finally taken place, and boxing pros are quick to share their reactions.
I thought it was a really good fight. It was a very closely and keenly fought fight, but I thought Tyson won it. And I don't understand how one judge could not give him a single round in the last 7 rounds. I mean, what fight was he watching? And the other 2 judges only gave him 1 round from the last 7 rounds of the fight. I can't. It's beyond me. Oscar De La Hoya is sitting a couple of seats away from me, and we were saying how you got it, and he's a neutral. He's not Tyson's mate or anything. He's, and he thought the same as me. He thought he won it.
What did Tyson Fury say to you in the changing room straight after you went to see him?
He was disappointed. He felt the same. He thought he'd done enough to win. Everybody where we were sitting thought he won, and I looked at Aegis and Alex, and they were not looking confident at all. I promise you.
How did you have it, Frank? Sorry, I don't know if you said.
I thought he won it by at least 2 or 3 rounds. I really did.
I thought he started very well, Tyson, and I thought the fight changed later on. Would you agree with that?
No, I don't. I think he had his moments. Usyk had his moments, but I think if you go and look at, I just felt Tyson was big, he was strong, he was focused. There was no showboating. He was working continuously. And I'm not taking anything away from Alexander. He's a really great fighter, and he's obviously a great champion. But how anybody can not give him a round or give him 1 round in the last 7 rounds is nuts.
They all had the same score. There were some variances on different rounds, but I thought it was a closer fight. I mean, it might even go on either way, but what can I say?
What did you make of Tyson's performance this time? A heavier Tyson Fury. What did you actually make of his performance this time out?
I thought he was more active with his jab, and he probably, in hindsight, he probably should have tried a little more of he has a good one too, one pop up, and he used his size and reach and everything. Usyk is like a machine though. He's just got a big battery that never stops.
What did you think of Tyson Fury losing tonight? Did you agree with the judges?
Yeah, I did. I think the first rounds were close. Tyson had a few of the middle rounds, but I think the back stretch, last 6, I think Usyk pretty much had all of them, to be honest. Thought it was not as great of a fight as the first time, but you could see that both men really respected each other. They were both trying not to give too much away, and when they started letting the hands go, then the fireworks came, but then it was a bit too late. Like it weren't the most classic spectacle, but Usyk did what he needed to do to win, and I think Fury tactically was a lot better. He stayed on his side of things. He was punching and trying to negate the work of Usyk, so I think they did a much better job at cancelling each other out, but I just think Usyk had more quality over the fight.
Tyson Fury fought much better, but Usyk still won more rounds. I think that's how you sum it up. Where they go from here, like I said, man, Usyk done did everything he could do. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if he called it a career, man, wrapped it up.
The same result, but it is wider. 116, 112.
116, 112.
I thought it was a draw. I thought it was very difficult to split them. I look at the reaction, and most people have. Excuse me, guys. Most people have Usyk winning the fight, I guess.
The AI judge had it 118, 110.
Get rid of the AI judge.
Yeah.
The AI judge don't work.
Did you
But the only thing I will say is, come this way. The only thing I will say is 3 judges scored it the same, and I like it when that happens. Because sometimes we see a lot of variation in the scorecard. So for me, I thought there were so many close rounds. I thought it was really difficult to split.
You thought Usyk was the favourite going into the fight. Did it play out the way you thought it was going to play out?
No, not really. To be honest, I was a little bit disappointed with that. The way they judged that, to me, it was a little bit too wide. I personally thought it was a lot closer than that. I wouldn't have give it the way they give it Usyk. I just thought he did really, really well. Tyson, he did way better than the first time. So that deserved to be a 1-1, and we should have a trilogy on our hands. So I'm a bit upset for Tyson. I'm a bit upset, obviously, for all of his fans, his family, and I just wish he'd won that fight because we needed that fight. He needed to cement his legacy, and I thought that he did. To be honest, I think a lot of people saw it different, but I know one thing. I know that he was working really, really hard, Usyk, to create as much as he could with working with his hand speed and the shots that he got in. I don't know what the punch count was for how many times he connected, but it might have possibly been more than Tyson's. But you know what? There's no way it was the way they said it was. That's all I know.
Yeah, look, I think it was a very different fight, obviously, to the first time round. I think Alexander Usyk boxed brilliantly. Alexander Usyk boxed brilliantly. I think he deserved the win. I know there's people questioning the scorecard, but I think Alexander Usyk deserved that win tonight. But fair play to Tyson Fury because he always comes and gives it his all. And I want to see the AJ Tyson Fury fight now.
Yeah, I thought it was really tight, really tight. I didn't score it round by round. It's, I hate it when people give their opinion and then you go, how did you have it? And they don't actually know. So my gut feeling was I thought Tyson was going to get it, but a lot of people around me were favouring Usyk. So, obviously disappointed for Tyson, but congratulations to Usyk as well.
How do you feel, heavyweight champion of the world?
I'm very feel.
What's that?
Heavyweight champions.
What do you think, truthfully?
I thought it was dead tight. I thought you was going to get it, if I'm honest.
I swear to God, I thought I won it by at least 3 rounds. I bossed the fight in front for all night. I was quite confident. I thought I won that fight again. I think I've got Larry Holmes here. I thought I won both fights. But then again, I've gone home with 2 losses on my record now, so there's not much I can do about it. I can just fight my heart out and do the best I can. But again, I'll always believe until the day I die, I won that fight.
Did you feel that, this time you had more on the back foot? You're a bit
aggressive on the back foot. I was on the front foot all night, landing body and head. Listen, sometimes it's hard to score.
Keep quiet at the back, please.
I feel a lot of people did as well. Same score. Frank had me 3 or 4 rounds up. A lot of people had me at least 2. I just don't know. Listen, it is what it is. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. It's happened now. I know boxing, been in it all my life. You can't change no decisions. But I'll just always feel a little bit hard done by. Not a little bit, actually a lot. But I think when you don't get the knockout, this is what happens. You can't guarantee a win.
The scorecards, I don't know if you've seen them, any of you. The one judge gave Usyk the last 7 rounds. He didn't give Tyson 1 round, and the other 2 judges of the last 7 rounds gave him a round each gave him 1 round. I mean, I've been doing this for years, and I'm biased, I know, because I'm in Tyson's camp, but how on earth can anybody say he never won 1 round out of the last 7?
Were they Ukrainian judges?
Sorry?
Ukrainian judges?
Well,
they might as well have been.
Whatever they were, honestly, I'm dumbfounded at how that scoring can be. It's dreadful.
How do you feel in terms of performances? Obviously, the first fight, you said, look, I weren't my best, but I thought I won. Do you feel like your performances were night and day, just different? I felt I won both fights, like this Australian lad here. He thought I won both fights too.
After months of build-up and intense analysis, the fight has lived up to all the hype. Experts and pros alike have weighed in on the fight's result, sharing their insights and thoughts on what just went down in Riyadh. Here's a roundup of what the pros had to say about this epic showdown. Before this intense rematch, boxing experts were divided on who would emerge victorious, with some backing Fury's power and size, while others leaned towards Usyk's technical brilliance and speed. Promoter Frank Warren shared his insights with Mailsport on the contrasting strengths and weaknesses of Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk ahead of their rematch. Warren noted a significant contrast in their fighting styles, pointing out that Fury excels when fighting on the back foot, while Usyk struggles in that position. Given the intensity of both fighters' aggressive styles, he expressed confidence that the fight would not go the distance.
But Tyson is not bad fighting on the back foot. Usyk isn't good on the back foot. So what is going to happen, as soon as that first bell goes, bang, one of them will have to try and take the centre of the ring. One of them's going to be pushing, or both of them will be trying to push each other back. That's why it's going to be a good fight. And I'm telling you, it will not go the distance.
Fabio Wardley, the British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion who has sparred with both Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, shared his thoughts on the rematch before the fight. Speaking with Boxing Social, Wardley predicted that the rematch would play out similarly to their first encounter, with Usyk maintaining his usual laser focus. Wardley highlighted Usyk's disciplined approach in the ring, while speculating that Fury might attribute his previous loss to an imperfect camp or lack of preparation. However, Wardley believed that the defeat could have been the wake-up call Fury needed to refocus. Despite this, Wardley ultimately predicted another victory for Usyk, expecting the fight to unfold in much the same way as before.
I think it's a lot of the same, to be honest. I do think it's a lot of the same. I think Usyk will go into the fight like any mindset, like he has done with all of his fights, that just narrow focus, just straight on target, on point, not missing a beat, not missing a step. Maybe Fury will say that, like, kind of, maybe his camp wasn't ideal, or he wasn't in the best place or the best shape, or whichever else. Who knows? He hasn't. Maybe the loss was what he needed to go right, full 100% back in, and maybe he comes out differently. But if I was to put my money on it, I'd say it goes pretty much the same way.
In a conversation with Boxing Social's Louis Hart, Mark Tibbs shared his insights on the contrasting mindsets of Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk leading into their rematch. Tibbs acknowledged that Usyk would naturally feel more confident, having already defeated Fury in their first encounter. He explained that Usyk likely believed he had Fury's number, which gave him a psychological edge during his preparations.
It'd be natural for Usyk to be the more confident guy, as in, you know, he feels he's got Tyson's number and he's done it before, he can do it again.
When asked about Fury's ability to handle the defeat mentally, Tibbs expressed optimism. He believed that Fury's competitive spirit and determination would drive him to learn from his mistakes in the first fight. Tibbs remained confident that Fury, known for his resilience, would use the loss as fuel to refine his strategy and ensure he was fully prepared for the rematch.
So Fury dealing with defeat, do you think it work in an even more positive way where we could see a better Fury?
Yeah, it should do. It's natural. It's a natural way of thinking that he will want to. You know, he's always been a winner, Tyson. He's always been a winner. He didn't want to lose against Tyson. He's just made a few mistakes, and I'm sure he's brushed up on them mistakes.
Before the rematch, Lennox Lewis, the former world champion, shared his candid thoughts on the showdown between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk during an appearance on IFL TV. Reflecting on Fury's career, Lewis described him as an up-and-down guy, acknowledging the highs and lows he's experienced in boxing. Despite past setbacks, Lewis firmly believed Fury knew exactly what needed to be done to regain his spot at the top. He expected Fury to enter the ring fully prepared, learning from his previous mistakes. Lewis predicted an exciting fight, with Fury determined to secure undisputed status.
You know, Fury knows what he needs to do. He's been at the bottom, he's been at the top. He's been at the bottom, he's been at the top. Right now he's at the bottom, trying to get back up to the top. He knows the route to get there, so I think it's going to be a great fight. I think he wants to be undisputed as well. So when he looks back at the fight, he's going to say there's a couple things he should have done, and he's going to go in there and do them.
Adam Smith provided his analysis on how Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk would approach the fight. Speaking with Boxing Social, Smith speculated that Fury might come in slightly heavier, aiming to use his size more effectively in the rematch. Smith emphasized that Fury needed to take a more serious approach, as he couldn't afford to repeat the mistakes from the first fight. Smith pointed out Usyk's success in the first encounter, particularly his ability to disrupt Fury's jab and dictate the pace. Smith highlighted Tyson Fury's track record of excelling in rematches. However, he emphasized the distinct challenge this time, as Fury was coming off his first ever defeat, while Alexander Usyk remained unbeaten. If Fury won, Smith noted it would be a remarkable achievement, solidifying his status as a three-time heavyweight champion. Smith highlighted Usyk's growth as a fighter, noting that he now entered the ring with the strength, focus, and determination of a true heavyweight.
I expect him to come in a bit heavier. I think he's got to try and use his size advantage. He can't be playing around like he did last time. But then I thought Usyk boxed so well at the beginning. I thought he set the traps. He tried to take Fury's jab away straight away. But then you had that Fury 4 rounds in the middle where Fury has a record of doing very well in rematches and is always up for challenges. Are the legs, is the body still good enough at this stage to do what he did against Wilder second time? That was a long time ago. Look, if he pulls it off, it's an incredible feat to become a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. But Usyk's never lost as a pro, so it's a tough one to call. Let's hope it's as good as the first, if not better. But Usyk is the consummate professional. Look, a good big guy should beat a good little guy, but Usyk's just an exceptional guy, and he's not so little anymore. He actually looks like a heavyweight now, so and he looked strong in camp when I saw him. So, look, I expect a very close fight again.
Speaking to TalkSport, Mike Tyson had made it clear that Tyson Fury's lack of focus in their first fight had been a key factor in Usyk's surprising performance. Tyson believed that if Fury treated the rematch with the seriousness it deserved, the first fight outcome could be very different. Tyson stressed that if Fury approached the rematch with full focus and respect for Usyk's skills, he would have a better chance at securing a win.
Hey, listen, Usyk surprised everybody. I think Tyson Fury played around too much. I think he needs to be fighting serious, and hopefully we have a different result.
Speaking to Seconds Out, Joe Parker offered his take on what Tyson Fury needed to do to secure victory in the rematch against Alexander Usyk. Reflecting on their first encounter, Parker praised Fury's performance but felt he could have applied more pressure to Usyk, pushing him back more effectively. He expressed confidence that Fury would come into the rematch with a fresh game plan, ready to take care of business by the end of the year. Parker also highlighted Fury's physical advantages, such as his height, reach, and overall size. He suggested that Fury needed to make better use of those attributes in the rematch, utilizing his natural physical gifts to gain a decisive edge over Usyk.
He was boxing very well. I think maybe a bit more pressure from his side and push Usyk back a bit, but he'll come up with a plan. He'll come up with a way to approach the rematch, and I feel he can take care of business at the end of the year. Yeah, he's got the height and he's got the reach and he's got the size. So it'll be awesome to see him use that a bit more.
In an interview with YouTube channel DJ Vlad, Bill Haney shared his thoughts on Alexander Usyk's performance in his first fight against Tyson Fury. Haney admitted Fury was initially caught off guard by Usyk's dominance in their first encounter, stating that he didn't expect Usyk to control Fury the way he did. Haney also acknowledged Usyk's impressive skill and ring IQ. When asked about the rematch, Haney confidently predicted that Usyk would upstage Fury again. He expressed belief that Usyk possesses the tools to secure another victory, predicting a 2-0 outcome in the Ukrainian's favor.
Man, I didn't think Usyk was going to do Fury like he did him. So Usyk has made me a believer.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's made me a believer. I think that he'll upstage Fury again.
Oh, so you think it's going to be 2-0?
It'll be 2-0.
At the 62nd WBC annual convention in Hamburg, former world champion Michael Moorer talked about this epic encounter during an interview with Box Nation. While Moorer chose not to predict the fight's outcome, he expressed his admiration for Usyk's boxing style and approach. Moorer highlighted Usyk's ability to take risks and his killer instinct when sensing vulnerability in an opponent. Moorer's analysis highlighted Usyk's aggressive mindset and methodical approach inside the ring.
Well, I don't expect it because I don't know the future. My thing is just by his style and how we put punches together, and he takes risks at times. If he has you hurt, he'll go in for the kill. If he doesn't have you hurt, he'll work until he gets you hurt. I like stuff like that.
Duke McKenzie, the first British fighter to claim world titles across 3 weight classes, delivered a sharp warning to Tyson Fury regarding his rumored weight gain strategy ahead of the rematch with Alexander Usyk. Speaking on the Talk Boxing podcast, McKenzie cautioned that adding bulk to Fury's already imposing frame could be a costly decision when facing someone as agile and technically skilled as Usyk. McKenzie explained that being bigger and stronger won't necessarily defeat Usyk, stressing the risks of sacrificing speed and unpredictability for brute force. McKenzie criticized Fury's habit of fluctuating weight between fights, pointing out that his yo-yo approach leaves him vulnerable. He stressed the importance of maintaining consistent discipline, dismissing the idea that a heavier Fury would overwhelm Usyk through sheer physicality.
Everybody knows he's not a great liver. He doesn't live, eat, walk, talk the sport. You're supposed to. In between fights is where fights are won and lost. But we know Fury blows up, puts on a load of weight between fights, and then he's got to get rid of all that weight again. Now, they're trying to tell us that Fury's going to be bigger and better, bigger and better isn't going to beat Usyk. Right. It's really not.
According to McKenzie, this strategy would likely backfire, making Fury slower and easier to target. He described Usyk as a fighter who thrives on precision, speed, and adaptability, qualities that would be even more effective against a less mobile Fury. McKenzie predicted that the extra weight would leave Fury more exposed, getting hit earlier and more frequently in the rematch.
If he puts on more weight and tries to think, well, you know what, I'm going to bully Usyk this time, I'm going to go in, I'm going to walk him down, I'll be able to take his shot because I'm that much bigger, it's not going to work for him. It's just not. He's going to be slower, he's going to be more predictable, and he's going to get hit more and a lot sooner.
In an interview with Queensberry Promotions, Anthony Joshua shared his own experiences against Usyk. Joshua described the Ukrainian fighter as a class operator and emphasized his remarkable skill set, calling him one of the best out there. Joshua predicted that the fight would be competitive in the early rounds, with both fighters finding moments of success. However, he expressed confidence that Usyk's technical brilliance and adaptability would ultimately secure him another victory. Reflecting on their previous encounters, Joshua believed Usyk's consistency and precision would once again prove decisive in the rematch.
I think it's going to be a tough fight early on, and then I feel like Usyk will edge it again. He's a class operator, so I think Usyk's one of the best out there. That's why I think he'll win.
In an exclusive interview with Box Nation during the 62nd WBC annual convention in Hamburg, Amir Khan shared his perspective on this rematch. Reflecting on the first fight, Khan stated that Fury likely learned from his mistakes and gained a deeper understanding of the threats Usyk poses. Khan predicted that Fury would take a more strategic approach in the rematch, leveraging his ability to adapt and improve after initial encounters. He highlighted Fury's track record of performing better in rematches, which gave him confidence in the Gypsy King's chances. With this experience, Khan believed Fury could stop Usyk in the later rounds, leveling the series and reclaiming victory in the second bout.
He knows that he can't stand in front of a strong Usyk, because Usyk still has a lot of power, and I think he's felt his power this time, knowing that he's come up a weight and still holds that power strong. So I think Fury's going to be one step ahead. And you know, obviously, whenever Fury comes back in a rematch, he's always done much better. So I think that he could be even he could probably stop Usyk as well towards later rounds.
Eddie Hearn, the renowned boxing promoter, recently shared his prediction on the rematch during an interview with TNT Sports Boxing. Hearn praised Usyk for his intelligence and adaptability in the ring, calling him an unbelievable downloader of data who consistently adjusts his tactics to outmaneuver opponents. He highlighted Usyk's ability to shift strategies mid-fight, which makes him a challenging adversary for anyone. However, Hearn also acknowledged the immense talent of Tyson Fury, reflecting on his historic victory over Vladimir Klitschko and his resilience in the face of Deontay Wilder. Despite recognizing Usyk's strengths, Hearn ultimately sided with Fury, predicting that the rematch would be a close and possibly controversial contest. He expressed confidence that if anyone could pull off the win, it would be Fury.
My first thoughts are, I don't know how you can pick against Alexander Usyk, right? When he beats you, like what he is, he's an unbelievable downloader of data, right? But instantly. Not we'll go away for a few months and watch tape and understand. He does it on the spot. I'm changing my mind. I'm going to go for Tyson Fury. And I just feel like this fight is about extraordinary things. Usyk always does extraordinary things. But every now and again, Fury is capable of the most remarkable things. The Klitschko victory in Germany, I think probably I'm just going to switch it and go for Tyson Fury. I want him to win anyway, but I've just got a funny feeling he's going to do it. This is going to be close. It might be controversial.
Reflecting on Tyson Fury's rematch with Alexander Usyk, Agit Kabayel spoke with TalkSport Boxing about how Fury's preparation and impact had shaped his own career. Kabayel shared that Tyson had been instrumental in helping him prepare for his own fight with Mamudov. Although the first fight between Fury and Usyk had been closely contested, Kabayel expressed his admiration for Fury's ability to bounce back and predicted that Fury would win by points in the rematch.
I love my brother Tyson. He helped me very lot. You know, he makes this fight with Makhmudov. He helped me in this fight. I wish Tyson he wins this fight. And the first fight was very close. Tyson is ready for the fight. but I think he wins the fight with the points.
Savage Dan spoke with pro boxing fans about the potential for a clearer victory for Usyk this time. Looking back at their first encounter, Dan pointed out that the momentum shifted in Usyk's favor from round 9 onwards, with the final rounds clearly belonging to the Ukrainian. While the fight was close in the early and mid rounds, Fury's complacency allowed Usyk to seize control and secure a split decision victory. Dan also discussed the physical toll the fight took on both fighters, noting that although Fury seemed more affected after being rocked in round 9, Usyk's relentless effort could eventually take a toll as well. Despite that, Dan acknowledged that Fury's natural advantages could make the rematch unpredictable.
I can see loads of outcomes. I just can't see. Look, the tide in that fight really changed from round 9 onwards. You know, it's 9, 10, 11, 12, all belonged to Usyk, and that was enough to win him. But it was win him a split decision. But it was still a close fight. You know, and up to the mid rounds, it was close. But I had Fury kind of in control, and maybe he got complacent, you know, and whatever happened, but I'm not sure. I wonder who that performance took more out of. Obviously, it's easy to say Fury, you know, he got pinged around the ring for the whole of round 9. But Usyk has to keep going to the well. He is working really hard to win these fights. I'm not saying you're going to get old overnight, but it does eventually catch up with you.
Speaking on TalkSport Boxing, former world champion Roy Jones Jr. shared his thoughts on the rematch. Jones praised Fury's intelligence and adaptability in the ring, highlighting his ability to make adjustments during a fight. However, reflecting on the first fight, Jones acknowledged that Fury made a mistake by backing up, which gave Usyk the confidence to press forward. This error allowed Usyk to realize he could hurt Fury, and that knowledge could play a crucial role in the rematch. Jones emphasized that Usyk would defeat Fury again with a methodical and disciplined approach in the second fight.
What I do understand is that, to me, Fury is one of the best guys at coming back and making adjustments, and I think he pretty much does most of it himself because he's a very smart fighter. That's why back 8 years ago I told him, if you get your mind together, you can beat most of those heavyweights out there. He came back and beat pretty much all of them. The thing about it is, though, he made the same mistake that he did. He did the same thing to Usyk as himself did with Wilder. Well, why would you go out there and back up from Usyk? Usyk is the small guy. You don't go back up from the small guy. You back up from the small guy, you give him confidence. He gave him confidence, and look what happened. So now the sacrifice is going to be much tougher because Usyk now knows in his head. Now he knows that he can put Fury down. Could work for him, could work against him. Because if he goes out there and strictly try to put Fury down, Fury will definitely beat him. But if he goes out there and beats the normal, methodical Usyk, who is very smart, very methodical in everything he does, he'll beat Fury again.
Johnny Nelson reflected on how Tyson Fury's approach in the first fight impacted his chances against Alexander Usyk in their rematch. While Nelson had initially favored Fury due to his natural advantages, he then believed that Fury's actions in the first encounter made things easier for Usyk. According to Nelson, Fury's strategy essentially provided Usyk with the tools he needed to secure victory in the rematch. As a result, Nelson predicted that Usyk would pickpocket Fury in their second fight, emphasizing how Usyk's adaptability and tactical intelligence would give him the edge once again.
I see Tyson Fury making the job easier for Usyk, even though I thought Tyson Fury would beat Usyk the first time round. And I thought that because of what he had naturally. But now he's told Usyk, he's shown Usyk, he's given Usyk everything he needs. So I'd side towards Alexander Usyk to pickpocket.
In an interview with Seconds Out, Derek Chisora shared his concerns about Tyson Fury's preparation for the rematch against Alexander Usyk. Chisora observed that Fury's sparring partners, though pushing him to improve, didn't offer the same intensity Usyk would bring. Chisora pointed out that Usyk's approach was fast, strong, and relentless, with the Ukrainian knowing he could hurt Fury and not holding back in the rematch. Chisora believed Usyk's aggressive style could have made the fight even tougher for Fury. While Chisora admitted that he would have loved to see Fury win, he conceded that, given the circumstances, things hadn't seemed to be in his favor. Chisora hoped for a Fury victory, but feared that Usyk's relentless strategy might have proven too much for the Gypsy King.
Do I believe Tyson can beat you, Alexander? I look at everybody he's got in his sparring camp. I personally don't believe that you can actually. The sparring partners he's got right now, they're pushing him to be menace. You know, they are in awe of Tyson. You know, they will pull their punches when they're sparring. You know, they will. This is what I'm seeing from the things I see on Instagram. So, I mean, what I see, what Alexander's doing is totally different to
Because I think Alexander's way is more like start fast and finish fast. He knows he can hurt him now. So he's going to come and try and hurt him. You will not, as he keeps saying, you won't leave him alone. I would love Tyson to win, but right now those odds are not looking great.
In a recent TalkSport boxing discussion, both Gareth A. Davies and Adi Oladipo shared their predictions for the rematch between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Davies believed Fury would enter the fight more aggressively, recalling the success he had in the first 7 rounds of their previous encounter. Davies predicted that Fury would come in slightly heavier and be more proactive this time, stepping in more against Usyk. However, he acknowledged that this shift in strategy could bring its own risks. Davies also noted that a Fury victory could set up a defining match to determine the true champion of the era. Meanwhile, a Usyk win would solidify his status as the top fighter of this generation, given his achievements in both the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions.
How much Fury's got left is going to be one of the factors. He pointed to the fact he had success for 7 rounds and needs to carry it on. I think he's going to be a slightly heavier and more aggressive this time, because when he was aggressive, he was successful in the fight. I think he'll step in more against Usyk this time, but that will bring its risks as well. So it's going to be an epic encounter. I mean, they're both brilliant. The belts don't matter anymore for me. This is now the championship of each other. If Fury wins, we get one more at some point to decide the number 1 of the era. If Usyk wins this, he's flatlines for me as the number 1 of the era. That's all on the line.
Adi Oladipo, however, leaned toward Usyk, citing the confidence the Ukrainian had gained after proving he could hurt Fury. Oladipo noted that while Usyk didn't initially think he could take down the Gypsy King, his newfound knowledge of his ability to hurt Fury would give him the edge in the rematch. Although he acknowledged that the fight would be close, Oladipo described it as an epic encounter.
Usyk now knows he can hurt Fury. I don't think he went into the first fight thinking he could sort of slay the Goliath, the giant, and now he knows that he can hurt him, and now Fury knows, more importantly, that Usyk can hurt him as well. So I think both will be a bit more cautious, but I think we've got something epic. I really do. I think we've got something epic.
Alexander Usyk's promoter, Alex Krassyuk, recently shared his analysis with Steve Bunce on TNT Sport Boxing. Krassyuk expressed strong confidence in Usyk's ability to win the rematch, highlighting that the fighter had done everything possible to prepare for the showdown. However, Krassyuk also acknowledged that victory ultimately comes from God. Krassyuk predicted that the rematch would be more dramatic than their first encounter, suggesting that it would not go the distance. He anticipated a significant change this time, with the fight likely ending in a knockout.
Will he beat Tyson Fury for the second time?
He's capable of doing this, but the victory is coming from the Lord. I know that he's done everything that he could and that was required from him. And I'm pretty sure Tyson is coming for the victory. So this is gonna be, I suggest this is gonna be a way more dramatic fight this time than it was before. For me, it shouldn't go the distance this time.
In a detailed conversation with Gareth A. Davies on TalkSport Boxing, Tyson Fury's coach, Andy Lee, analyzed Fury's approach for the rematch against Alexander Usyk. Lee believed that Fury would adopt a more aggressive front foot strategy this time. Reflecting on their first encounter, Lee noted that Fury had struggled with conditioning, which caused him to take breaks during the fight. However, Lee was confident that Fury would be in better shape for the rematch, allowing him to maintain a sustained offensive and press Usyk more effectively. He also emphasized that Fury should build on the successful tactics from the first fight, particularly the double jab and body head hook combination, and avoid letting up.
As I said, but so this time around, how he'll win it, he'll be better conditioned, he'll be fitter, and he'll be sharper, and he'll be able to sustain attacks, and he'll do his good moves. Whatever he was landing, what was working was double jab, hook to the body, hook to the head, back on the jab, and then he can keep going and keep going, instead of just doing those good moves and then backing off, looking for a rest, showboating a little bit to buy some time. So yeah.
So, the most awaited fight is over now. Did this rematch live up to your expectations? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more boxing updates.